Hi there. This is my evidence submission for Element 5. This is my reflection video. And I went ahead and sorry about that, and I redid the form, the self-scoring template that was originally for the NASOT, and I put in the 10 elements on the side here. I hope this works. I have the area here with my score, and then I have my evidence, or teacher-student evidence, and then I just have some many notes over here on the side to help me explain what it was all about. So just a quick recap of the video. Basically what it was me going around during our enrichment time and interviewing kids and just kind of showing you what's happening during that time. The whole idea behind the time is basically to put the classroom in the hands of the kids and just let them go and let them all kind of go off onto individual projects and things that they want to work on, or not necessarily want to work on, because it's not just a free-for-all. There is a lot of structure involved to it, kind of like anything else that is successful here in a competency-based system. And so the kids, it's their time. It's their time to, like I say, take the keys and drive. And so I wanted to kind of give you an overview of that. To me, this is kind of the cornerstone of my classroom. This is what makes my classroom, and I think how it really contributes to a big community feel that we have, and culture and climate here. I think if you ask the students, it's also their favorite time of day and their favorite thing to do. And I've been doing it now, I want to say, for 4 years. This is my 4th or 5th year doing this. It evolves every single year, and I feel like every year it gets better. So right now I have a great group of students who are involved in it, and it involves every student having a role from, I have 2 supervisors. I have a head supervisor who's kind of in charge of the classroom throughout the entire day. That student is one who lines the kids up, walks the kids down the hallway, chooses who's their hallway hero, I call it. They're in charge of our celebrations that we have. They're in charge of the kudos, giving the students kudos to each other. They're in charge of our Rachel's Challenge chain. You name it. If I can offload it onto somebody, I've offloaded it onto my head supervisor, because I want to give them the keys to the car. So it's a big part of that for me. There's also other positions within the classroom that are things that all have a theme. One of them, things from, why don't I pull it up? I also thought about trying to upload this or download this so that you can have a copy of it as well. But if I at least pull this up, I call it Classroom Enrichment, and if I at least pull this up, you should be able to see, get a sense of all the jobs that we have. I call them jobs, and I think it's just something that the kids can relate to, and I think that they like having a job. So you'll see here's all our roles, and it's in order of classroom rotation, because a big part of this is mentoring in other classrooms. So the students go down and mentor. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 students who are in other classrooms mentoring, including, that doesn't include this Nerd Squad student who is kind of a technology person, but they're also assigned to one teacher if needed, and an office aide who also goes out too. So a lot of my students leave, but then I have other things within that, like a musician who is in charge of the music, and they also in charge of highlighting somebody for our Falcon Report. The FR stands for Falcon Report, and that's a magazine that we write. I believe I gave you a copy. You should, if you need another one, let me know. And then we have the DM, I call, which is kind of daily maintenance. So there's just things around the classroom that need taken care of, like our announcer. They do the announcements in the morning. And they get on and they read an example of an idiom, they read a joke, they tell what the lunch is for the day. We're going to have them read our Rachel's Challenge links. They also give any pertinent information and do the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's great for fluency and getting that up there. Photographer, there's articles that are written. There's current events, health and wellness person who measures, they're in charge of getting our snacks and the breakfast counts in the morning and all that stuff, and then promoting healthy food, but they're also in charge. They have to go and monitor their heart rates, and I have a little cool little pulse oximeter that's also got a pulse rate checker on it that they can just slip onto their finger and check their resting heart rate and then their active heart rate. So they're in charge of doing jumping jacks in the classroom as well. There's an astronomer, there's a meteorologist, a person that goes, this meteorologist is our daily maintenance meteorologist, and so I have a handheld weather station that they take outside and they measure the weather. I have a game review, somebody who's writing a video game review I have a geographer. I have the teacher helper, who is my helper, my assistant, who helps me with things. I have a person who's writing a debate. I have somebody who's writing an article on meteorology. We have a person who's in charge of our calendar, and they make celebration days, like it could be Hat Day or it could be Chips and Salsa Day, and so they're in charge of creating those and promoting those and making those happen within the classroom. I have an interviewer, somebody who goes off and interviews a staff member. I have a movie review. We have an artist, and then I have the back page of the Falcon Report, which is comics and games and those kinds of fun things. So that's all the jobs there. I got a phone call, so I'm gonna pause it. Okay. Anyways, sorry. I definitely lost my track of where I was on that ramble. So it's probably a good thing. And let's move on to my self-evaluation. I went ahead and with this, and I might have already said this. I altered this self-scoring template to fit the 10 proficiency instructional models. So what I felt like on this one was I definitely hit the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So engagement, comfort, safety, and order, belonging and self-esteem, efficiency and agency, and the metacognitive and life skills. And so for me, this is definitely not like a proficiency scale type of a lesson. This is more of a student exploration time, and I've really, there's been years, and I can talk about this more in depth at some other time. There's been years where I've really tried to think about trying to connect a lot of this with proficiency scales, and we do. It's more so a lot of the writing proficiency scales, and then perhaps maybe even life skills, metacognitive skills this year. But I kind of, at some point too, want the kids to be able to be free from some of those things, to be able to just work. And so that's definitely what I'm feeling on this one: the engagement, comfort, safety, and order, belonging, self-esteem, efficiency and agency, and the metacognitive life skill stuff. So I scored myself a 3 on the engagement. I feel like the students are engaged in this because they have assigned roles. It's interesting work. It's something different than their normal daily duties, and they're given the opportunity to choose that topic. So the students can definitely do that, and my students can describe, what I do to interest and intrigue them. For comfort, safety, and order, I gave myself a 4 on this one. I'm really big on trying to make sure my students know that they can sit where they would like, to create the spaces within the room that are comfortable for the kids, so that they're coming in and not feeling like you're just in this box, or you're in a seat and here you are. So I'm really, really cognizant about that. Students, they follow the rules that are set forth and enforced by the head supervisor and supervisor positions. So the safety is in there, and the order is in there. And the great thing about it is the order is not even enforced by myself. It's enforced by the other students. And so that does connect down into that agency piece as well. We do have SOPs in place. Students know that. Students follow those SOPs. And like I said, the classroom layout has been devised to create comfortable spaces. I've even been in touch with Eric, our warehouse manager, to get some more comfortable furniture in here. He asked what I want my classroom to be like, and I told him I want it to be like a Starbucks. And so he's all aboard and doing that. But it works at the speed of the warehouse and works at the speed of the district. So sometimes that can be slow. Belonging and esteem. Definitely is a huge thing for me. I've scored myself a 4 on that one because I feel like the students, because I give away those responsibilities and I give them the keys to the car, that instills a lot of trust and responsibility in them, and so I think that creates a lot of belonging within me and them. And then also the fact that they are in charge of each other during that time gives them a lot of respect and responsibilities. We do a lot of celebrations as well as a part of that time, and the head supervisors are the ones who are in charge of that. They'll give away points on our class craft system, which is my classroom management system. It's kind of like Class Dojo, but for older kids here. And you can see we can give them points of various things on here. And this is one of my characters. So this is Annalie, and she's able to make her person and spend stuff on that. So all of that is tied together to create the sense of belonging, and the students come together in this big classroom community. It also is a big part of belonging and esteem when my students are mentors and going to other classrooms. I can tell you how many times now my students are like rock stars in this school. Whenever they walk around, all the kids know who they are because they go to all the different classrooms, and so it creates this really cool mentoring, but also role models that my students are, that the other students are watching them, and it really helps out in the classroom. So really cool thing, and belonging and self-esteem is one of my strengths. Efficiency and agency is also one of my strengths. I gave myself a 4 on this, and I say that I've created this place where students have control over the classroom. During this time is when I like to watch, number one. I like to have conferences if I can, number two, but I also don't want to pull them away from what they're doing. So three, this is when I kind of have my time for my personal project and get to work on some things and get to work with kids. At this time, I'm a proofreader. At this time, I'm a helper, a holder, whatever the kids need from me. But I really, during this time, try to make a step backwards and say, if somebody comes up to me, hey guys, you got to ask the head supervisor. Hey guys, you have to ask the supervisor for help. Find somebody else who's had that job. Find somebody else who knows. They would love to help you. And definitely take a giant step back and let the kids run the classroom. It's a big thing for me. And so that's why I scored myself a 4 on that one. And then the metacognitive and life skills, as far as this goes, I debated whether I wanted to include that one in here, but I really feel like the sense of the student leadership and the sense of the self-evaluation are definitely big. I'm creating I'm helping the students develop a lot of skills that they're going to need to be successful in life. Being a leader and being in charge, evaluating someone else, but also being evaluated by a peer and being told what to do by a peer. These are all things that are huge as far as going out and having success in life. And so what I would like to do, and I put this down as my opportunities for growth and improvement, is I would like to incorporate more of the metacognitive processes during this time, the problem solving, all those types of things. And so I think as I get more familiar with that and get other things settled in the classroom, that will definitely be an addition to our enrichment time as well. I said that one of my major strengths was the efficiency and agency. Like I said, giving the kids the keys to the car and letting them drive is definitely huge. If you would like to see more of this in action, I would definitely invite you to come in and be a part of this and just see it. I'd also be happy to shoot you more videos or shoot you the duties and responsibilities and which one of them entails, and just give you more of an overview. So like I said, this is kind of the cornerstone of my classroom, and so I felt like it definitely fit with a majority of these elements. These other ones up here, these ones to me, it's all pretty easy. These ones are things I'm rocking out right now, and so I'm just recording videos, getting that stuff done so I can send it in to you. So look for that coming up in the future. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you.